Good day, everyone. My name is Vuyo Moni. As you can see, I'm at home. There's a closet behind me. I'm in this small room at my home. I'm not quite a fan of working from home, so I'm not really set up. I don't have a really office setup at home. Currently, we've been hit by the pandemic, so we kind of had to adjust. Speaking of adjusting, I think if you were in the career of computer science, you continuously need to adjust, because if there's one thing that's a constant in a computer science career, is that's change. So continuously you need to grow, and you continuously need to adjust to different situations. Look, when it comes to computer science, when it comes to career in computer science, if you want to be in a space where there's continuous change, space where it's going to be continuously challenging, and it's going to be quite rewarding when it comes to the finances part of it. I think if I look at the stats, the computer science career is one of the best paid within the country. So it is also rewarding as well. You want to be in this particular space. But besides all of those things, if you think about computer science, computer science is the driving force when it comes to technological advancements as well. Meaning that with constant change, there's continuous technological improvements. And with those technological improvements and new technologies coming in, there's always new careers that keep popping up. I mean, 10 years back, testing wasn't that much of a career. It was there, but 10 or 15 years back wasn't much of a career, but now it's popping. And then if you look at DevOps engineers, is becoming a new thing now. So it's no longer just about being a developer. There's a variety of choices in which you can fit in depending on your personality traits as well. So I'm gonna try and explain this very quickly. So in my space, I'm in the QA space, so the quality assurance space. Now you'll find that in developing different systems, quality becomes very important, because you're the last form of defense, because we have to test that the system actually works before it hits the end users. You don't want to give an end user, after they paid you millions of rands, and then you give them a system that actually doesn't work. So you want to have this guy that makes sure the system works. So I'm working in that particular space. So in that particular space, though, it's divided. So you have what people would call manual testers, where people actually go through the system and actually test it manually by playing with it. And then you've got people who do automation. So I'm a team lead. I'm a technical test lead. So basically in our space, what we do is, whatever the guys who are doing manual testing are doing, we try and write scripts that will automate the stuff that they actually do, just to make their job easier. So they will test it manually first, then we'll jump in, and whatever they were doing manually, physically touching, either being an app or a system that's on your desktop, we come in, we write scripts that will run anytime, any space, and actually do what they were actually doing. So I run that particular team. Look, I feel sorry for people who've actually lost their jobs. This is actually quite sad, and I've witnessed quite a few friends who've lost money, income, and all of that thing. It's actually quite sad. But fortunately, in the space that we're in, when it comes to computer science, I personally haven't been impacted that much. The only thing that's been an inconvenience for me is just I have to work from home. I don't really like working from home. I prefer being at home, just chilling and enjoying time with my family. But now I had to convert one of my rooms here to working space. So lockdown hasn't really impacted me when it comes to work. If I have an internet connection at home, got my computer in front of me, I've got two other screens just sitting there, I can basically continue working. Look, I'm not a motivational speaker. I think the best way I could possibly motivate you, just by telling you about the background of my story. Look, I started off when I came into the computer science department. I had never worked on a computer before, because I came from Nzondelelo High School, and that's a township school in Port Elizabeth. came into there, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. All I knew is that I wanted an education. And first lecture we had Professor Jean Reiling. This guy changed my whole life basically, because he made me fall in love with computers. And the moment I fell in love with computers, I dedicated my time to making sure I get my degree, and then I jumped into this tech industry. So eventually I got my degree and started off as a dev. But being a dev, I realized it was very stressful, and it didn't pretty much fit my kind of charisma or characteristics. I needed something that I would deal more with people and kind of engaging. Hence, I started switching off into testing, because I could engage with clients, I could engage with devs and be a mediator. I can still do the technological part as well. So my word to motivate you is that I would say, look, wherever you come from doesn't determine where you're going to end up. So keep at it. There's a lot more in computer science that you can actually do. You might have an idea of where you think you want to work currently. Keep that. I'm telling you, that only will be a start, and just keep pushing. And yeah, there's so much more that you can actually do here. Look, if anything, just keep at it. And there's anything I can say to you is that embrace change. Thank you.